Hi, I'm Kira. 3 years ago, I landed what I thought was my dream job at Sterling Tech Solutions, a mid-sized software company in Denver. I worked my way up from junior analyst to senior project manager, pulling 60-hour weeks, landing major clients, and basically living at the office. My boss, Derek Chambers, always had this way of making you feel like you were part of something special. Kira, you're absolutely crushing it, Derek told me last December, leaning against my cubicle with that practiced smile of his. That Morrison account you closed? Biggest deal we've had all year. Thanks, Derek. I really pushed hard on that one. I can see that. Listen, I've already talked to corporate about your year-end bonus. With numbers like yours, we're looking at something substantial. Maybe even double what you got last year. My heart jumped. Seriously? That would be amazing. I've been saving for a down payment on a condo. Consider it done. You've earned every penny. He clapped me on the shoulder. Keep up the great work. I floated through the holidays on that promise. I even started looking at properties, calculating what I could afford with that bonus. When January rolled around and bonus announcements were supposed to go out, I checked my bank account every morning like a kid on Christmas. Nothing came. By the third week of January, I cornered Rachel Martinez from accounting in the break room. Rachel and I had become friends over late-night pizza during tax season marathons. She was scrolling through her phone, her dark curls pulled into a messy bun. "Hey, Rachel, can I ask you something?" She looked up, and I caught something in her expression. Concern, maybe guilt. "Sure, what's up? Have the bonuses gone through yet? I haven't seen anything hit my account." Rachel bit her lip. "Kira, I probably shouldn't say anything, but yeah, they went through last Friday." My stomach dropped. What? I didn't get anything. I know. I processed the payments myself. She glanced around and lowered her voice. You weren't on the list. That's impossible. Derek promised me. He said it was already approved by corporate. I'm really sorry, Kira. I even double-checked because I knew you'd been killing it this year. Your name just wasn't there. I felt my face getting hot. Who did get bonuses? Most of the senior staff. Derek got a huge one, actually, like 50,000. 50,000? I couldn't breathe properly. Rachel, I closed Morrison. I brought in almost $2 million in revenue. What did Derek do? She shook her head slowly. I've been wondering the same thing. Between you and me, the numbers have been weird lately. I've tried to talk to Derek about some discrepancies, but he keeps brushing me off. What kind of discrepancies? Budget allocations that don't match up with actual expenditures, vendor payments that seem inflated. I'm not saying anything for sure, but something's off. Rachel grabbed my hand. Look, I probably shouldn't have told you any of this, but you deserved that bonus, and I'm sorry you got screwed. I spent the rest of that day in a fog. Finally, around 4, I knocked on Derek's office door. Come in. His voice was cheerful. He was typing away at his computer, barely looking up. Hey, Kira, what can I do for you? Derek, I need to talk about my bonus. Ah, right. He leaned back in his chair, his expression shifting to something apologetic but casual. Yeah, so corporate decided to redistribute the bonus pool this year. Different metrics and all that. You told me it was approved. You said I'd definitely be getting one. I said I'd try. Look, it's not personal. Everyone had to take some cuts this year. Rachel said you got 50,000. His jaw tightened. Rachel needs to learn to keep confidential information confidential. What I receive isn't really your business, Kira. But my bonus is my business. I earned it. Morrison alone should have... Morrison was a team effort. He cut me off. And frankly, your performance this quarter has been slipping. Maybe focus on that instead of worrying about money. I stared at him. Slipping? Derek, I've exceeded every target you've set. Look, I don't have time for this right now. I have a call in 5 minutes. He turned back to his computer. Close the door on your way out. I couldn't let it go. That night, I called my friend Marcus, who worked in HR at a competing firm. That's shady as hell, Kira, Marcus said over the phone. If he made a verbal promise about compensation, especially something that substantial, you might have grounds to push back. How? Document everything. Emails, any written communication. Talk to other employees who might have witnessed the promise. And honestly, if your friend in accounting is seeing weird financial stuff, that's a huge red flag. The next morning, I met Rachel for coffee before work. I need your help, I told her. Can you show me what you meant about those discrepancies? She hesitated. Kira, I could get fired. We'll be careful, please, Rachel. Something isn't right here. She finally nodded. Okay, but we have to be smart about this. Over the next 2 weeks, Rachel discreetly shared information with me. Vendor invoices that were submitted twice. Contract budgets that were approved for certain amounts, but different amounts were recorded. Travel expenses that seemed excessive. I started compiling everything into a spreadsheet. I also started talking to other employees. I caught Jessica Chen, one of the marketing directors, after a meeting. Jessica, can I ask you something confidential? Jessica was always polished, always political. She adjusted her designer glasses. Of course. What's going on? Did you get your bonus this year? I did, yes. Not as much as I'd hoped, but enough. Did Derek ever promise you a specific amount and then not deliver? Her expression shifted. Why are you asking? Because he promised me a substantial bonus for the Morrison deal, and then I got nothing. I'm trying to figure out if this is a pattern. Jessica looked uncomfortable. Kira, I don't think you should be going down this road. Derek's been good to us. Maybe there were legitimate budget constraints. Rachel in accounting says the numbers don't add up. Rachel is young and probably doesn't understand the full picture, Jessica said coolly. Derek's been with this company for 15 years. He knows what he's doing. Or maybe he's been getting away with something for 15 years, I shot back. That's a serious accusation. Jessica's voice hardened. You're going to damage your career if you start throwing around conspiracy theories. Derek's respected. You're good at your job, but you're not irreplaceable. So you're saying I should just let this go? I'm saying you should be smart. Think about what you're risking. But I couldn't stop. I reached out to Tom Bradshaw, our VP of Operations. Tom had always seemed fair, pragmatic. I scheduled a meeting under the guise of discussing project timelines. So what did you really want to talk about? Tom asked, settling into his chair. He was in his 50s, with gray hair and sharp eyes that missed nothing. I took a breath. Tom, I need to report some concerns about financial irregularities in Derek's department. He straightened up. That's a serious thing to bring to me, Kira. What kind of irregularities? I walked him through everything. The denied bonus, the discrepancies Rachel had found, the pattern of vendor overpayments. Do you have documentation? Tom asked. I have copies of everything Rachel showed me. Invoices, budget reports, expense submissions. And you're certain about this? Tom, I've spent 3 years building my reputation here. I wouldn't come to you with this if I wasn't sure. He nodded slowly. Email me everything you have. I'll need to review it before taking this further. And Kira, be very careful. If Derek finds out you're investigating him, I know, I said. But he stole from me. And I'm betting I'm not the only one. 2 weeks later, Tom called me into his office along with Patricia Velasquez from Corporate Legal. Kira, we've reviewed your documentation, Patricia said. She was intimidating, immaculately dressed with a no-nonsense demeanor. We've found enough discrepancies to warrant a formal investigation. What happens now? We're going to conduct interviews with key staff members, including Derek. We need you to be available for questioning, and we need you to keep this absolutely confidential. Of course. One more thing, Tom added. Derek's going to figure out someone reported this. Are you prepared for that? I am. It took 3 days for Derek to connect the dots. He stormed into the open office area where I was working, his face red with anger. My office. Now. He didn't wait for me to respond. I grabbed my phone, set to record, and followed him. Rachel and 2 other coworkers watched nervously. Derek slammed his door. You went behind my back to corporate? I reported financial irregularities. That's not the same thing. You're trying to destroy my career over a bonus? Are you that petty? This isn't about the bonus anymore, Derek. It's about the fact that you've been stealing from the company. I haven't stolen anything! His voice was rising. Those budget allocations were approved. The expenses were legitimate. You're too junior to understand how departmental finances work. Then explain the duplicate vendor payments. Explain why you approved contracts for one amount but recorded different amounts in the system. You have no idea what you're talking about. I have documentation, Derek. Lots of it. His expression changed from anger to something calculating. Kira, listen to me. You don't want to do this. Corporate investigations are messy. They destroy reputations. Everyone's reputations, including yours. Are you threatening me? I'm trying to help you. If you drop this now, we can forget it ever happened. I'll even make sure you get a bonus next quarter. A good one. I don't want your bribe. It's not a bribe, it's an olive branch. Come on, we've worked well together. Don't throw that away. You threw it away when you lied to me and stole money that I earned. His jaw clenched. You're making a huge mistake. I have friends in this company, Kira. Important friends. You think Tom and some lawyer from corporate are going to protect you? I've been here 15 years. You've been here 3. Who do you think they're going to believe? The evidence will speak for itself. Evidence? He laughed bitterly. You mean documents that Rachel gave you? Rachel, who's been underperforming in accounting for months, who's probably looking for someone to blame for her own mistakes. Rachel didn't make mistakes. You did. Get out of my office. Gladly. As I reached the door, he spoke again, his voice low and venomous. You'll regret this, Kira. I'll make sure of it. I turned back. Is that a threat? It's a promise. He stood up, moving toward me. You want to ruin my life? I'll ruin yours. I'll make sure you never work in this industry again. Rachel opened the door, having heard his raised voice. Kira, is everything okay? Derek pointed at her. You're both fired. Clean out your desks. You can't fire us, I said. There's an active investigation. Watch me. He pulled out his phone. I'm calling security right now. But before he could dial, Tom appeared with Patricia and 2 security guards. Derek, we need you to come with us, Tom said firmly. What? No. These 2 are the ones who should be… Derek, we've completed the preliminary investigation, Patricia interrupted. We've found sufficient evidence of financial misconduct to suspend you pending further review. You need to surrender your access badge and company devices. Derek's face went white, then red. This is insane. You're believing these 2 over me? We're believing the documentation, Tom said, including some emails you thought you deleted. This is illegal termination. I'll sue this company for everything. You're not terminated yet, Patricia said calmly. You're suspended. But I'd recommend you contact an attorney because the evidence suggests criminal fraud. Derek looked at me with pure hatred. You did this. You did this, I corrected him. I just exposed it. He lunged toward me suddenly, and I stumbled backward. Tom and the security guards immediately grabbed him. Derek, don't make this worse, Tom warned. She's destroyed everything, Derek was shouting now, struggling against their grip. 3 years of work, down the drain because of some vindictive… That's enough, Patricia snapped. Escort him out. File a report about the attempted assault. As they pulled Derek away, still yelling threats, Rachel grabbed my arm. Are you okay? She asked. Yeah, I said, my hands shaking slightly. I'm okay. The investigation took 6 weeks. I spent hours giving statements to corporate lawyers, reviewing financial documents, and explaining everything I discovered. Rachel did the same. Derek was officially terminated after 2 weeks, and then things got really interesting. Tom called me into his office on a Friday afternoon. Patricia was there again, along with someone new. A woman in her 40s wearing a FBI badge. Kira, this is Special Agent Michelle Santos, Tom said. She's with the White Collar Crimes Division. My stomach flipped. FBI? Agent Santos smiled slightly. Don't worry. You're not in trouble. Actually, your documentation helped us connect Derek's activities here to a larger fraud scheme. He'd been running this operation at 2 previous companies. We estimate he stole close to $700,000 over 12 years. Oh my God. Your bonus complaint led us to one of the biggest corporate fraud cases we've worked this year, Santos continued. We'll need you to testify, but I wanted to personally thank you. A lot of people would have just let it go. After she left, Tom gestured for me to sit down. So, obviously, Derek's position needs to be filled, he said. I blinked. Okay? We'd like to offer it to you. Director of Sales Operations, 60% salary increase plus a substantial signing bonus to make up for what Derek stole from you. Are you serious? You proved you have integrity and attention to detail. That's exactly what we need in leadership. I accepted on the spot. The criminal trial happened 8 months later. Derek's lawyer tried to negotiate a plea deal, but the prosecutors weren't interested. I testified about the financial discrepancies and his threats. Rachel testified. So did 3 employees from his previous companies. The day before sentencing, Derek's lawyer called me. My client would like to speak with you, she said. He wants to apologize. No. Miss Chen, he's facing serious prison time. He's trying to make amends. He had a chance to make amends when I first confronted him. He chose to threaten me instead. I have nothing to say to him. He's very sorry for how he treated you. Good. He should be. But that doesn't change what he did, and it doesn't entitle him to my forgiveness. Don't you think everyone deserves a second chance? Everyone deserves consequences for their actions. Derek's getting his. And I don't owe him anything. Not my time, not my sympathy, and definitely not my forgiveness. I hung up. Derek got 5 years in federal prison and was ordered to pay full restitution. I got promoted again 6 months later, vice president of operations at 32 years old. Rachel and I still get coffee every week. Last month, I finally closed on that condo I'd been dreaming about. The down payment came from my bonus. The real one, the one I actually earned. Sometimes people ask me if I feel bad about what happened to Derek. I don't. He made his choices, and I made mine. The only difference is that my choices were honest. You stood up for yourself when your boss stole from you? Or have you ever caught someone in fraud at work? How did you handle it? Drop your story in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe for more real stories about justice and revenge.